joint agency of the United Nations and the World Trade Organization with the mandate to support micro, small, and medium enterprises from developing countries and fragile economies to become more competitive and access international markets. This year is also the first time that the International Trade Center, together with partners from the public and private sector, organizes the Youth Ecopreneur Awards. So it's forming a part of ITC's work to support companies to go green to compete, with a particular focus on youth as the next generation. So it's also quite exciting to be here for this very first edition of the Youth Ecopreneur Awards of ITC and her partners. The prizes that the winners of the Ecopreneur Awards can win help further pursue their goals by providing the winners with over $15,000 in prize money, which is $5,000 per category, and by providing them with capacity building, networks, and visibility. We will elaborate on what other sorts of things finalists and winners can win later on during the session, but just to give you a quick overview of what's up for grabs today. But now, without further ado, I think it is the best time, the perfect time for us to kick off this event with opening remarks by none other than Mrs. Pamela Coke-Hamilton, ITC's Executive Director. So Mrs. Hamilton, I would like to give the floor to you.
Thanks so much. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody, depending, of course, on where you're connecting from. I'm happy to see so many young and energetic faces joining us from around the globe to celebrate the final pitching competition and awards ceremony of ITC's Youth Ecopreneur Awards. At ITC, we're true believers in the potential of young entrepreneurs to become climate leaders for the green economy of the future. Moreover, we have a proven track record in supporting micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises to go circular and become climate resilient. But we believe there is more to be done. We need innovative ideas to answer the most pressing environmental challenges facing our planet. This is why we launched the Youth Ecopreneur Awards. We asked young entrepreneurs to share with us their sustainable and scalable solutions across 3 categories: energy, waste, and water. And the responses have been phenomenal. Applications for the ITC's first edition of the Youth Ecopreneur Awards opened on International Youth Day around 3 months ago, and we saw more than 650 young ecopreneurs apply from 81 countries. After extensive review from ITC experts and technical committee members, the field was narrowed down to 9 finalists from 8 different developing economies. Unfortunately, one has had to withdraw today, so we only have 8. But we're so excited to have these finalists here today to present their pitches. I'm honored to be sitting on the jury today alongside my fellow judges to learn more about your work and about the sustainable solutions you are driving. I'm happy to announce once more that the winner in each category will be supported on many different levels, including a cash prize of $5,000 each, as well as tailored technical assistance from our partners, support in matching with investors, a ticket to Slush next year, which is the world's leading startup event, and speaking slots at different regional or global events. I must also say a special thanks to all of our partners without whom this would not have been possible. To Ambitious Africa, Green Tech Capital Partners, Sidley Austin, SME Finance Forum, Sustainable Business Consulting, Aspen Network of Development Entrepreneurs, and Fondazione Italiana Accenture. We deeply appreciate your support of youth and green trade. Congratulations again to everyone who applied and to all young ecopreneurs who are making a difference and working towards a greener and better planet. With COP26 just having concluded, we do see the importance and timeliness of your solutions, and we want to encourage you to continue on your journey. Congratulations specifically to the 9 finalists, only 8 with us today. Your businesses have persisted against steep competition, and your approaches to promoting renewable energy and energy efficiency, reducing and recovering waste, and ensuring efficient water use deserve to be celebrated on a global stage. I'm very much looking forward to hearing your pitches today. Good luck and thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mrs. Coke-Hamilton. I think, you mentioning all these partners coming together, all these young people sending in their green business ideas and initiatives. I think that only goes to show, how great the urgency is, but also how great the will to go for, more sustainability and small businesses and ecopreneurial, insights into this is actually. So at least what I hear, it's very inspiring. And I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say that we're very much looking forward to hearing more from all these young ecopreneurs during this session today. So with that being said, I think it would only be right to hop right into our jury panel because they will be the ones listening closely to the pitches of the finalists to give their verdict at the end. So first off, we are joined by, you just heard her, Mrs. Pamela Coke-Hamilton, ITC's Executive Director, as part of our jury panel. Thank you so much for being here with us. Then we have Mrs. Richenda van Leeuwen, who is the Executive Director at Aspen Network of Development Entrepreneurs, a non-for-profit organization for entrepreneurs based in the United States. We have Mr. Eric Young, CEO of Green Tech Capital Partners, an investment company for green startups in developing countries with their primary bases in Cameroon and Germany. We have Mr. Ian Sanford, who is one of our partners from Sidley Austin as co-leader of the firm's Emerging Enterprises Pro Bono Program and Trade for Development Initiative, a law firm with a pro bono program for SMEs from developing countries. And last but definitely not least, we are joined in our jury panel by Mr. Ankit Agarwal, founder of Hull, a social enterprise converting temple waste into biodegradable packaging and bio-leathers from India. Thank you so much to our jury panel for being here with us. And I think I speak for them when I say that they're also very much excited to hear from all our 9 finalists in this session. Now, good to know for the audience as well is that this jury was carefully assembled and selected as they all represent a different sector related to finance, entrepreneurship, international organizations, and so much more. In this way, we sort of aim to analyze and assess the pitches from as many vantage points as possible. Each jury member will individually score the pitches using their unique jury score sheet, and they will score each ecopreneur across a number of key areas. And some of those include the presentation and the team, the business model, the environmental impact, and the market fit and growth potential of the business initiatives. And also, to be fair to all finalists, we will be very strict in our timekeeping. Trust me, we can be very strict with that because we want to give everyone an equal chance and an equal platform to elaborate on their business ideas. So each presenter will have a maximum of 4 minutes to present, followed by 3 to 4 minutes of questions and answers after each pitch. The jury can ask questions, but you from the audience can also submit questions. I would very much encourage you to do so because we would love to hear your insights as well and your questions. So you can drop them in the chat, which I can pick up on later on during the session. Each finalist can score a total of 430 points. And at the end of each category, and once all 3 ecopreneurs have pitched per category, the jury members' scores will be compiled, revealing who has the largest score of the 3 ecopreneurs and who will thus be our winner for that category. We will then jointly announce the winner for each category at the end of the event. And with that being said, I think that we should just hop right into the first of the 3 rounds of pitch presentations, which will be all about energy. So that's what this category is about, because as we all know, energy production and energy use are the biggest contributors to global greenhouse gas emission and a driving force behind climate change. So we urgently need to shift away from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources to meet the growing energy demand, improve the energy production and consumption efficiency, and ensure access to clean energy for all. So it is more than with excitement that I'm very happy to announce our 3 finalists for this category. First off, we are joined by Nora Magero, for the founder of Drop Access in Kenya, which is a women and youth-led social enterprise that develops sustainable rural African communities through energy access. Thank you so much for being here with us, Nora. Then we are also joined by Kwizera Pike, founder of Ahega Bioenergy Limited from Uganda, which is an enterprise established to create a greener alternative to a widely consumed resource in Uganda, being cooking energy. And we are joined in this category by Douglas Baguma, founder of Innovex from Uganda, a social enterprise focused on transforming the distribution of off-grid solar energy systems and equipment by using digital tools to help people access sustainable energy. Thank you all so much for the three of you for being here. And I think we can just hop right into it with you, Nora. If you want to start off, the founder of Drop Access in Kenya, then your 4 minutes will start now. And then afterwards, we will get back to you with the Q&A session.
Okay. I can start?
Yes, you can start.
When I gave birth to my daughter in 2018, I faced a lot of challenges getting her vaccinated. I live in the rural Makueni County in Kenya, and most times our clinic standards are weak because the vaccines had spoiled or they are not available, since the facility did not have reliable power. My name is Nora Magero. I'm the CEO of Drop Access, and together with my team, we're bridging the cold chain gap in healthcare by developing innovative and affordable solar cold chain technology for use in rural hospitals. Next slide, please. Today, 1.5 million children still die each year of vaccine-preventable diseases, and most of them are in Africa, the same continent where over 500 million people still live without electricity. This population is also being served by 140,000 health facilities that do not have reliable cold storage because of lack of access to electricity. So for this reason, my team and I, Drop Access, next slide please, we have developed Vaxibox, affordable solar-powered vaccine refrigerators for use in rural health facilities. Our solution is unique because it's portable. It can easily be mounted on a motorbike, a boat, or a bicycle so that vaccines can be deployed to rural and off-grid health centers and communities. It's also IoT enabled. It's integrated with a data management solution for remote monitoring and data collection, ensuring that immunization is still being appropriately done. And the most amazing thing is that Vaxibox is designed and locally made in Kenya. So we've applied for a patent. Next. Our business model starts from research and development, where we are prototyping and testing Vaxibox to build such a robust fridge that is able to meet all the areas of the healthcare sector. And afterwards, we manufacture and distribute Vaxibox unit on a B2B model to government, development organizations such as UNICEF, and businesses that trade in healthcare technologies. These businesses pay us for the Vaxibox on cash, where we get a 30% profit margin, or they lease the fridge. They also pay us a monthly subscription to access our data management platform. Next. Our market is guided by the fact that there are 200,000 health facilities in Africa, and out of this, 140,000 still lack access to electricity or are connected to a weak and unreliable grid. So in the next decade, we're targeting to distribute 70,000 Vaxibox units to 70,000 healthcare facilities to capture 50% of the market share. Next slide, please. So far, we've raised grants of $90,000 USD to conduct a small-scale pilot where we prototyped Vaxibox units and are currently testing in various sites in Kenya. And today, we're raising $500,000 USD in grant financing to conduct a further 12-month large-scale pilot and also testing for commercialization models for our business. And this will just be the beginning of us distributing 1,500 refrigerators to 1,500 healthcare facilities by 2024. Next slide, please. Our diverse team is made up of engineers, mechanical engineers, automation, data science, scientists, and also we have research and development, as well as finance and business development expertise. Also, we have advisors in the healthcare, as well as technology development in African space. Next slide, please. So we're inviting you to invest in us so that we'll ensure that rural health facilities incur electricity saving of $9.5 million each year. And also, Vaxibox will inject an additional renewable energy into the healthcare sector, ensuring that these rural health facilities will reduce carbon emissions by at least 27,000 metric tons every year. And finally, Vaxibox will ensure that every year, 41 million children, including my own daughter, will get a chance to be fully immunized. Next slide, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nora. And can I just say, what a great way to do the timekeeping, because it was exactly within the margins of the 4 minutes. So thank you so much for that and for your inspiring story. I'm just going to look straight to the jury to see if there is somebody who already wants to ask a question to Nora about her initiative. Let me check. Yes, I see Rashenda. Please take the floor. Go ahead.
Thanks very much. And thanks, Nora, for a great presentation. Quick question, how do you differentiate your solution from other products that are already out there, like Solar Chill and other? What's your secret sauce? What's your special competitive advantage compared to existing products?
Integrated, the IoT-enabled functionality for our fridge where it's able to collect data in real time, manage stock, and also send location and ensure security while the fridge is on site. And also just to make sure that our fridge is portable, these other units are actually stay in situ. But there's such a huge gap for transportation of vaccine from the main repository in the large healthcare facilities to the smaller healthcare facilities, and they transport vaccines quickly. So we want to enable them to do this while ensuring cold chain in transportation. Other fridges actually don't have this. And also in addition to now the IoT-enabled capability that is able to track healthcare data in real time.
Okay, thank you so much, Nora. Does that answer your question, Rishenda? Okay, cool. That's great to hear. Also, I want to remind everyone in the audience that they can also submit questions to our panelists. So please do so. About that being said, I see that Pamela, you also have a question you want to ask to Nora.
Thanks so much, Nora. It's a fascinating presentation, and coming from a small island developing state that had serious issues with whether we could actually manage the cold storage for vaccines, this is something that I think would really do very well. My only question is, how do you mitigate the risk of not being able to charge the Vaxi box if weather conditions don't permit? Because sometimes the sun doesn't always shine,
It's true,
even though we're
true.
from islands. Yes. Go ahead.
Very true. So VaxiBox has a battery backup, and it's able to run for 12 hours. So right now during the day it charges on solar, then during the night it charges on battery backup. But I know this worst case scenario where 2 days the sun hasn't come out and the battery has been drained. That is now where the technology called the holding time comes in. So VaxiBox has currently a holding time of 6 hours in case the battery is drained and there is no sun. So between those 6 hours, the healthcare worker is supposed to find an alternative. But moving forward, the reason why we're conducting the second large-scale pilot is so that we develop VaxiBox to have at least holding time, worst case scenario of 12 hours. If the battery drains, there is no sun, then there's a whole day to find an alternative to store the vaccines.
Okay, thank you so much, Nora. Nora, we have one question left very quickly. Ankit, you want to go ahead?
Hi. Thank you, Nora. I wouldn't take much time. I quickly wanted to ask, is the business dependent on grants as of now? Or are you making certain revenue from selling these vaccine boxes?
So far, we've sold 3 VaxiBox units, and we sold them at cost. Because we still have to test out commercialization model on what's the best price that this fridge is going to be bought at. We are asking for grants because we still haven't gotten any offers for equity, but we're also open to equity, especially if it's a partner who's going to work with us to ensure that we get the best go-to-market strategy to generate revenue. But we've sold 3 units just to prove to us that it can sell. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and also thank you to our jury for their sharp questions. Thank you so much, Nora Magero from Drop Access from Kenya for your story, and thank you so much for sharing that. We are going on to our next speaker, our next finalist within this energy category, which is Kwizera Pike, founder of Ehega Bioenergy Limited from Uganda. Kwizera, if you are here, the floor is all yours, so take it away.
Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me. Yes, thank you very much. My name is Kwizera Pike. I'm the founder of Ehega Bioenergy. I grew up along the shores of the beautiful Lake Victoria. The one side that was always permanent and still is the presence of water hyacinth. It always felt harmless because I was not directly affected like the fishing communities. Up until last year in 2020, when the whole country experienced a total blackout due to the blockage of a 180 megawatt dam by this water weed. It is from this background that we set out to manufacture biochar from this highly renewable resource like water hyacinth. However, 80% of Ugandans still rely on firewood and charcoal, placing deforestation rates at 7,000 hectares annually, coupled with the increasing charcoal prices. Next slide, please. Currently, government bodies and sugarcane processing factories deposit the sugarcane bagasse and water weed in landfills, which contribute to about 848 tons of landfill gas per ton of waste disposed. At Ehega, we believe we have cracked the puzzle around scaling of briquetting production at an affordable price. We train community groups living next to landfills on how to prepare and produce biochar at a decentralized scale. This biochar is then purchased by Ehega as a raw material for briquette production. Next slide, please. Next slide. We supply restaurants, poultry farms, homes, schools with a serviceable obtainable market at $86 million due to the scale at which Ugandans use charcoal. Next slide, please. We offer 6 hours of burning time for just 22 cents per kilogram compared to our alternatives, which are offering 41 cents for a kilogram, and that's the charcoal alternative. Next slide, please. We sell a kilogram of briquettes at 22 cents with a 43.5 gross margin. We utilize the already existing charcoal supply chain so as to reduce the distribution costs and increase the market reach. Next slide, please. We have sold over 50 tons of briquettes through a network of 23 distribution partners. We obtained $8,000 from the MasterCard Foundation and have done product development in partnership with the United States Department of Agriculture so that we can refine the binding properties. Next slide, please. We use the 8,000 for pilot plant setup with a production capacity of 18 tons per month, and given the 20,000, we can be able to increase these 50 tons as a production capacity per month with a target revenue of 10,000 per month. Next slide, please. We save over 6 tons of carbon dioxide per ton of briquettes manufactured and 360 trees per month, which would otherwise be cut down by Ugandans in the event that they were to utilize charcoal. Next slide, please. I am a mechanical engineer with experience in machine design and production engineering. I am joined by the team, that's Mark, who is a biomaterials researcher who has worked with the United States Department of Agriculture. I work with Sechimpi Dennis, who is an environmental researcher, and Adida Doreen, who is an expert in financial inclusion and business development from MasterCard. And my advisory team has a director for Rock Telecom Uganda, who is best with corporate management, and of course a professor from Makerere University, who is a specialist in materials, product development, and nanotechnology. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kwizera. And wow, you guys, you keep on amazing me with your time management skills, because right away, again, indeed, within the limits of time. So thank you so much. Kwizera, if you want to switch on your camera, you are super free to do so. In the meantime, let's hop right into our jury panel to see which of our jury members have questions for you. And I saw you, Ian, you were quite quick to already raise your hand. So if you would like to ask your question, take it away.
Thanks very much. Great presentation, thank you. I'm interested in your process of making the briquettes. I'm wondering if you've got some innovative know-how in there, or something that is not easy for others to replicate. And if I may ask a second question, is it possible to use sort of alternative feedstocks in your briquette making process?
Yes, thank you very much. I will start with the uniqueness. Our briquettes, the uniqueness that can stop what is stopping most briquetting companies from scaling up is purposely the carbonization process. So at Hajar Bioenergy, we have beat that by decentralizing this production process to be in the hands of very many people. So if one person can actually produce about a ton in a week, imagine what 40 people can do. If you're to do this process in-house as an industry, you would need over $120,000 just to purchase the equipment, unless that we forget about the production costs of running such a facility. I believe the second question was about the alternative raw materials that we can use. In Uganda, we are blessed to have a lot of sugarcane growers, and these are the people that are actually surrounding these landfills. So these are actually they are decentralized, however, they live in common communities, and it's easy to approach them, it's easy to collect the raw material from them, and they can form the best market for actually our products. So we can use sugarcane bagasse, we can use water hyacinth. All those are proven biomass that we can use in briquette production. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Kwizera. Does that answer your question, Ian? Okay, cool. Then I see, Eric, that you've also got your hand raised, so shoot right away with your question.
Thank you. Hello, Kwizera. Thank you for the presentation. I have a question about your team. Does anybody in your team has the entrepreneurship experience?
Thank you very much. Yes, please. My team, the person who has entrepreneurship experience is Linda Sekaziga, who is on our advisory team. She has experience in growing businesses, and she's currently the director of Rock Telecom, one of the largest internet companies in Uganda. We also have Andinda Doreen, who does a business development and financial inclusion with MasterCard Foundation for refugee communities. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric, as well. And thank you, Kwizera. We have room for one final quick question. So, Rishenda, I saw that you had your hand raised. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Briquette making is not new, but use of water's hyacinth for briquette making is intriguing. Can you just say a little bit about the burn properties of briquettes made from water hyacinth? It's a different feedstock. Do they burn as well? What are customers saying about them? And how clean are they?
Thank you very much. So we focused on three main issues when we're developing our product. One is to avoid smoke in our product, so they are smokeless. Two is the calorific value. Our calorific value is 28 megajoules, which actually compares favorably with the current alternative, and that is charcoal. And the third part is the packaging. Currently, charcoal is actually known as for you to trade charcoal in Uganda, you're a low life, as most people, it's not a job for the elite. However, briquette production, we working with the United States Department of Agriculture, they've actually helped us to make our briquettes dustless. So it means that even people in supermarkets, people in shops, they can actually stack tons and tons of these briquettes, and they have them in their shop without having to feel inferior or anything about selling charcoal.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Kwizera, thank you so much. Sorry, I have to cut you off here because the time is over, but thank you so much for your story. Once again, it's inspiring to see all these initiatives from you guys being the finalists here. And also thank you once again to our jury members for their sharp questions, as we are already moving to our third and final speaker within this category. We are going over to Douglas Baguma, founder of Innovex from Uganda. Douglas, I think we're all more than excited to hear what your business initiative is all about. So please take it away.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Hello, everyone. I'm Douglas Baguma, CEO at Innovex, and I'm glad to present how Innovex is facilitating the transition to solar energy as a service with IoT digital tools. Next slide, please. Across Africa, millions of people and 75% of Ugandans still have no access to electricity. Off-grid solar can address this need, but its growth is hindered by high upfront costs and high operation costs for repair and maintenance. Due to these challenges, off-grid solar energy systems are often costly and unreliable. Next slide, please. To address these challenges, Innovex has developed an operations and maintenance tool for solar companies called Remote. It has a hardware unit which physically collects data from any solar system and sends it to the cloud. The web application has a user interface. With our system, end users can purchase solar systems on credit, conveniently make install payments using mobile money, and monitor performance of their systems in real time. Solar companies, on the other hand, can control the pay-go process through on and off switching. They can also monitor and diagnose system components remotely, and this reduces operation costs by as much as 15%. Next slide, please. Remote can be found on regular solar home systems, solar-powered agro-processing equipment such as maize mills, solar cold chains, and solar water pumps. Next slide, please. So far, our solution is running on more than 1,000 systems across 6 African countries. Next slide, please. We currently operate B2B. We sell our hardware to solar companies. Each solar company has a unique account for their devices, and their respective end users are able to log into the system and monitor their individual devices. Software features are complementary. Next slide, please. Our target market are solar for productive use applications such as solar systems for powering businesses, solar systems in institutions, solar-powered agricultural equipment. Next slide, please. Our main advantage is that ours is the only solution in the world that connects to any brand and make of solar system while integrating remote monitoring and control, pay-go, and customer relationship management features. Our solution is also fully manufactured in Uganda end-to-end and makes it the more affordable than competitors. Next slide, please. We are a team of 22 staff. David, our CTO, previously developed and trained robotics at the university before joining Innovex full-time. Cosmas holds a PhD from Rutgers University in the US and previously worked with Philips. Myself, as CEO, I bring on board extensive business experience with training from Kellogg and Northwestern University. We also have a team of advisors from Gaia, our investors. Next slide, please. So far, we've sold worth 200,000 in revenue. We are raising $1 million to scale remote across 10 African countries and reach 5,000 solar businesses by 2025. Achieving this will further reduce the acquisition cost of solar systems, thus giving better access to off-grid solar energy to disadvantaged communities. Next slide, please. With that, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Douglas. Thank you so much for your story and also for keeping it within the boundaries of time once again. You are just shy of 30 seconds near the end of it, so a great job for that. Hopping right into our jury panel, looking at you, are there any of our jury members that already want to pose a question to Douglas? And again, also maybe a quick reminder in between to our audience, please do submit your questions in the chat. There is a hardworking team backstage checking all the questions in the chat to make sure that we can send them here in the session and pose them to our finalists. Eric, I see that you have a raised hand on your screen. Do you want to start off with the first question?
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you for the presentations. I wanted to know, how did you manage to finance the first material that you've been selling, and what's the plan to, are you going to fundraise again to buy additional material?
Well, thank you for that question, Eric. So early in the business, of course, our financing actually came from sales, customer sales. Initially, we didn't raise any money to build remote. We got payments, upfront payments from customers. That is how we operated until we had installed about 200 units. Since then, we've raised about $500,000, $500,000 And already we are also closing another round. This will close in September next year of about $1 million shillings. We are in the initial stages of talking to investors.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks so much. Does that answer your question, Eric?
Okay. Yes, partially. I was just wondering for the initial working capital,
Yes.
because it's a pay-as-you-go. So it demands a lot of working capital. So I was wondering if you had a specific model or you have to systematically fundraise again to add to your stock.
Yeah.
The working capital was bootstrapped. We got upfront payments from customers.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then moving quickly on to Pamela, I see that you have your hand raised. I don't know if Pamela can hear us, but maybe in the meantime, I can move on to Ian. Do you want to pose your question?
Sure, really quickly. A great solution. What's to stop somebody from copying it, including the sort of owners of the solar infrastructure from sort of setting up their own competing devices?
Thank you for that question. So our biggest competitive advantage at the moment, apart from the features, is recently we set up a local SMT manufacturing facility where we are employing 5 female technicians to assemble our electronic hardware. So this is in Uganda. It's the first of its kind in Sub-Saharan Africa, high cost of investment. And with this, there is no supplier that is beating us on price at the moment.
Okay, great. Does that answer your question, Ian? Okay, great. Maybe trying out with Pamela again. I see that you were on mute, but I'm not sure if there is a technical...
Yeah, okay, I think I'm up now. Thanks.
Cool,
sorry about that. I've been
no
having
worries.
computer issues. Yeah, I just want to find out how will you adjust your business model to transition from currently operating at a loss and dependent on grant funding to becoming profitable?
Thank you for that question. So already we have run, our biggest markets are Uganda and Kenya. We have run pilots in 4 other markets. That's Nigeria, DRC, Tanzania, Ethiopia. So supplying these 6 markets actually makes us profitable, selling 8,000 units by 2025.
Okay, thank you so much. Does that answer your question, Pamela?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Douglas, for answering all of our questions again, very neatly within the boundaries of time. I'm such a grateful moderator for this session. Now, I want to thank once again all 3 of our finalists within this category. Thank you to each company for having pitched to us their incredible solutions. And let's not forget, because hearing all these inspiring stories and also, you know, all the impact that you guys are making on the ground, no matter who will win, all of you, I know it's really cliche to say, but I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that all of you are already winners in the sense that you're such an inspiration for me, for the jury, and I think for any person out there aspiring to start their own green company and make an impact in that way. I'm very glad that I'm not in the jury seat at this moment, because I can imagine that it is a very hot seat to currently sit in and to make those choices for the scoring system. And I can only say that we are more than curious for the announcement of the winner for this energy sector at the end of the session today. Now, with that being said, let us move on to the second pitching round, which will be all about the category of waste. Because as we all know, waste generation rates continue to climb with population and economic growth. In low-income countries, over 90% of waste is often disposed of in unregulated dumps or openly burned. And these practices create serious health, safety, and environmental consequences, contributing to global climate change. In line with the ideas of a circular economy, there are many opportunities to turn waste into value. And to hear more about this entire shift of a mindset of seeing waste not as something that you should dispose of and is trash, but something that can create value in its next lifetime, we will be listening to 3 incredibly inspiring finalists for this waste category. Let me introduce them for you before we start, because first off, we will be joined by Vedant Gandhi, founder of RecycleX in India. RecycleX helps to manufacture green building products such as bricks, paver blocks, and furniture from recycled materials. Then we will be joined by Faisal Rizki, the founder of Sampangan in Indonesia, a company dedicated to sustainably processing all unsorted waste and transforming them into high-value materials to be used in a circular economy. And last but definitely not least, we have Guylaine Irazoke, founder of WasteZone in Rwanda. And WasteZone's app assists the recycling actors to outsource their raw materials, whilst also helping households to get rid of e-waste by selling it. Now, I am super curious to hear more of this just by these short bios and introductions. I'm already keen to hear more about your ideas. So I would very much like to invite to the floor our very first speaker, Vedant Gandhi, founder of RecycleX in India, to tell us more about their green business initiative.
Yeah, I can start now. Respected jury members and fellow organizations, I'm Vedant Gandhi, co-founded RecycleX. So at RecycleX, we are revolutionizing Indian building sector by providing eco-friendly solutions. We are redefining sustainable plastic and carbon waste management by innovations. We are working on social or environmental challenges in line with United Nations Sustainable Goals. Next slide, please. Plastic waste emerges one of the biggest problems in India. Apart from that, industrial waste and carbon waste, like copper slag and steel slag, are major reasons for land and air pollutions. Also, construction waste, which is utilized a lot of cement industry, by second most polluting industry in the world. There's a lack of eco-friendly building products in construction industry. Our major customers are infrastructure companies, real estate players, and housing sector. Next slide, please. RecycleX is revolutionizing green building sector by its manufacturing products like bricks, paver blocks, and tiles made from waste, which are eco-friendly, cost-effective, and high quality. We are not only utilizing waste as our raw material, but our manufacturing process also carbon negative. Our USP is that we recycle thermoset and MLPs, which are not possible for recycling. The waste is then cleaned, processed at our manufacturing plant. Construction and demolition waste is also obtained from various municipal corporations, and we manufacture this process. Next slide, please. RecycleX uses low waste plastics as our fiber reinforcement in our eco products. Our breakthrough to be patent technology enables production of cement-free carbon-negative concrete using plastic waste as CO2 and raw material. This would be the world's first admixture for making concrete with plastic ambient technology. Next slide, please. With smart cities coming up, we are targeting green buildings and sustainable projects in western zone of India, which is Mumbai and Gujarat, which is about 10 billion US dollars about 2023, about 340 million square feet. We aim to achieve almost 1% of the beach-headed market by 2023. Next slide, please. We are working with government bodies, municipal corporation, urban local bodies. We are also pitching our products to real estate developers, which helps them to get green points under LEED certifications. Our price ranging from 30 to 50 rupees per square feet for pave blocks and 3 to 80 rupees per piece and for bricks. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So we have achieved revenue of almost 20,000 US dollars by selling 30,000 square feet of paver blocks. Next slide, please. So what are the capital requirements? We are raising over $350,000 by next quarter Q1. We are currently on our sales growth by 20,000 US dollars. Next slide, please. Here's some of the marketing strategy. We are setting up our sales channel and also distribution channels and our sales and branding and communication channels. Next slide, please. Here are some of the case studies so far. Next slide, please. So what are the impact we have made so far? So far, we have recycled almost 40 tons of plastic waste, 95 tons of industrial waste, 171 tons of C&D waste. Next slide, please. We have achieved so many awards so far. We are already working with Alliance to End Plastic Waste and also winner of India Australia Circular Economy Challenge. Next slide, please. So these are our core team. I'm Vedant Gandhi, having an experience of 5 years, already working with United Nations projects in Germany. And Abhishek is a co-founder who is working with product development with other Celtech labs. We have also various mentors and the team size of 30 plus co-members. Next slide, please. We also formed a partnership with NGOs and also Prime Minister's Office in India, where we are working on using this plastic waste as bricks for making toilets in villages and upliftment, and we are giving an upliftment to rec pickers. Thank you, and we are open for questions.
Thank you so much, Vedant. And it's actually becoming quite scary at this point how everyone is managing time so greatly. I'm not kidding when I tell you that I get a text exactly at the moment that you guys stop speaking. But thank you so much for sharing this and elaborating on your initiative. I think it's super interesting to hop right into the jury questions to see some questions that they might have, comments, remarks, things that they might want to hear more about. So looking at our jury member panel, who wants to hop right into this and ask the first question? Let's see if some of the hands are already raised. I see Ian. Ian, please go ahead to ask your question.
Sorry, I've always got questions to ask. I'm interested that you are going for a patent at the moment. I think that's a really smart idea with a product like this, and obviously you've got an interesting process. Do you have plans for trying to license this technology to others?
Yeah, so we just started a year before, and now we are scaling up. We already have 2 manufacturing plants in Western Zone, but so far, like for next few years, we just need to. We are planning to just settle up a market in India first. So we plan to give technology transfers to various franchising model, but also we are setting up our distribution channels, like fixing our sales channel in 4 zones of India, so we can tackle our market in various parts of India.
Okay, great. Does that answer your question, Ian?
Yeah, thanks. That's useful.
Okay, yes. And thank you too for your question. Please keep on asking them. I don't think there can be enough questions for our finalists in this event today. Looking to the other jury members, is there somebody who wants to go ahead with the next question for Vedant about Recycle X? Let's see. Okay, Pamela, please do go ahead.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for this. I just wanted to find out, what's your, in your manufacturing process, how do you guarantee no carbon emissions? How do you, actually measure that?
Yeah, so we work on various research papers. So we have 3 kind of waste. There is plastic waste, C&D waste, and plastic waste. So we calculate the amount of CO2 required for manufacturing plastic waste and cement. And we are recycling such products for making an eco-friendly products. So our process is very carbon negative because we don't melt plastic. First of all, we shred this plastic in long fibers forms. So that gives an reinforcement to a brick. So it increases the tensile strength of a brick. And the whole process is carbon negative because we don't melt any plastic. And our manufacturing unit is also working on solar. And so we guarantee as an, on a carbon negative manufacturing unit.
Okay, thank you so much. Does that answer your question, Pamela? Okay, great. Vedant, there's also a question from the audience. They are curious to know what percentage of plastic will be recycled within RecycleX.
Yeah, so we it depends on the product, but giving a tentative idea about paver blocks, we almost use 20 to 30% plastic waste, depending on the size and shape of the paver blocks. And for the bricks, it also same. If it's a bigger bricks, then it's the amount of plastic is almost 30%, and it goes till 40% also.
Okay, super clear. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much to Vedant Gandhi from RecycleX in India for elaborating on his business initiative. Going on to our next speaker, our next finalist, we have Faisal Rizky, the founder of Sampangan in Indonesia, who will tell us more about his vision, about the role of his company in helping to reduce waste and change that mindset towards more value. So please, Faisal, the floor is all yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Faisal from Sampangan, Indonesia, and we're here to build the future from trash with a technology that we call the magic box that can convert waste into sustainable materials. Next slide. Yeah. So the problem that we're solving is actually very simple. We produce more waste than we can ever process. In Indonesia alone, 70 million tons of waste are generated every single year. And what's scary is that 55% of those waste are leaked to the environment, to the rivers, seas, and burnt openly, creating environmental pollution, causing harm, and most importantly, accelerating climate change through methane gas release. Next slide. So Sampangan is on a mission to solve the waste crisis, climate crisis, and circular economy. And the Sampangan Magic Box convert all kinds of waste without the need to be sorted using heat radiation technology and carbonization technology. So the analogy is like an oven and rice cooker. And we make sure that there's zero waste, where every waste becomes products, and zero pollution. We make sure that there's no pollution or emission created. And the technology is certified in Indonesia and patented in Indonesia as well. It's designed and manufactured directly by us. Next. Yeah. So compared to other solutions, we can process all kinds of waste. We are very scalable, starting from 1 ton per day to unlimited, where we can deploy the technology modularly. We're efficient in terms of energy, space, and speed, and most importantly, environmentally safe. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So we're addressing a $6.5 trillion global market size in waste processing market and circular economy. So it's a huge opportunity that we can tap into. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So this is how we convert waste into resources. So we take in waste from multiple sources, landfill, municipalities, agriculture, industry, and we process them at our site. And this is converted into products such as activated carbon, organic fertilizer and pesticide, biodisinfectant, and more, where we implement it in organic agriculture, public sanitation, and sustainable construction. Next slide. We have 3 main revenue streams where our customer base are mostly the government as well as businesses. So the first one is waste processing service fee, where we are paid to process the waste, $1 per meter cubic or $1 per ton. And then the second one is we sell products to downstream industries, to the agriculture industry, public sanitation, and property developer for sustainable construction material. And we're also going to go into sustainable certificate, where we will sell carbon offset and plastic offset certificate. Next. We grew 20x, where $400,000 of revenue while bootstrapping, and operationally have been deploying 18 magic boxes across 7 provinces in Indonesia and a pilot project in Brazil next year. Next. So we're measuring impact of SDG 1, 11, 12, and 13, where we have processed around 250,000 tons of waste so far. Next. Next slide. So our team came from very diverse background, myself from computer science, banking and fintech to handle strategy and business model. Dr. Ishani is our biochemical engineering expert, PhD, Hannah architect handling our products, and Aldi business management handling our sales and operations. Next. So we're raising 500K in equity with 75,000K already been subscribed. We will use this money to grow the team and scale our operation.
Okay.
Next.
Hey, thank you so much, Fauzo. I'll have to cut you off right here due to the time. But of course, we still have the jury questions, which gives you also, I think, a chance to elaborate more on your initiative on Sampangan. Thank you so much for your story on the first place. And I see that there are already some quick hands up in the air from our jury. Ankit, I think you were the first one, so please go ahead and shoot your shot.
Hey, hi, Fauzo. Thank you for your great work. I have two quick questions. One, what is that you actually convert the waste into? Because you mentioned that you're not sorting the waste. What is the end product? This is question one. Second is, I'm not sure if I read that correctly. You're projecting a $3 million revenue, US dollar. Is that true?
Correct, yes. So the first question is, so the products that we created from our process is that activated carbon, liquid smoke that we use in biofertilizers, biopesticide, and biodisinfectants. We created crude oil in which we converted into biocatalysts for energy efficiency on our site. We generate biogas from the methane gas that we capture from organic waste, and several other downstream and derivative products that we create from our process. So that's the first one.
So are you doing controlled pyrolysis then?
No, we're doing carbonization. So carbonization is a combination of pyrolysis and gasification into one function. And we're able to do that at like 50% more efficient than the existing technology in the market through our technology design.
Okay.
Right. So on the second part, we are aiming for $3 million US dollar in revenue in the next 2 years, because we are aiming to process 4,000 tons of waste in Indonesia, in which that's around 2% of the total waste generated every single day. So we are doing the initial fundamental operation now for the operation and scalability of manufacturing. But then we will be raising project financing to finance multiple government and industrial projects that we have in the pipeline. But the main revenue stream is not from waste processing, but from product sales, that in which we can create a huge amount of value in multiple different industries that we have access into at the moment.
Okay, thank you so much, Fauzo. I see another hand from Rishenda.
Yes, thank you very much. For the non-technical people here, can you explain how your pyrolysis and gasification differs from many existing products that have been around on the market for a long time? I'm thinking of companies like Anchor that have been in here for many years with gasification. And second, Bogor Agricultural Institute is a very respected institution, but have you sought any international certification in terms of your waste products? Because it's very difficult to produce non-contaminated end materials through such processes. So could you just tell us a little bit more about that? Thank you.
Thank you, Rishenda. So the first question, so the difference is that pyrolysis normally is operating at 700 degrees Celsius and gasification at 1,200 degrees Celsius. And these are two separate machines normally. But our technology combines these two into one. And not only that, we only operate at 100 to 400 degrees Celsius, significantly more energy efficient. The reason why we are able to do that is because we have a secret sauce, which is the biocatalyst, to reduce the energy activation requirement and accelerate the process, which is proprietary technology of our company. So that's the first part on how we're different than the existing technology. On the second part, in terms of certification, number one, we are certified by the Ministry of Environment of Indonesia. It's a process that takes around 1.5 years, where they audit our process, our emission, and all of the lab tests of the products that we created. So one of the lab are called Sukovindo, which is also an internationally with ISO standard. So the next step for us is to generate lab tests in Europe, in Singapore, and other parts of the world to increase credibility of the product that we created.
Okay, thank you so much. Rosenda, does that answer your question? Yes.
Yes,
okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Fauza, for your story and also for elaborating on Sampangan as your green business initiative. It was super exciting to hear, and I think we can move on to our next speaker within this category about waste. So within the waste category, which is Guylaine Irazoke, founder of WasteZone in Rwanda. Guylaine, if you're ready, we are ready for you as well. So take the floor away with your pitch.
Okay, hi, I'm Gisle Ilakoze from Rwanda, and I'm founder and CEO of WasteZone. Next slide. Okay, do you ever think about the end of life of electronic devices you are currently holding? What if we tell you that could be an opportunity of selling to recyclers or returning back to manufacturers? But however, due to lack of transparency in the market value chain, or inefficiency in reverse logistics could actually remit you to do it. So otherwise, your electronic waste will actually join over 10 million devices in landfill, hence missing the opportunity of recovering materials from them, as well as emitting carbon emissions. Next slide. So at WasteZone, we are providing you a great opportunity of selling your electronic waste through our mobile app, hence assisting how recycling industries to outsource their raw materials, while on the other hand, assisting you to get rid of your electronic waste while also earning money. Next slide. So the WasteZone app provide different value propositions, including traceability, where with our blockchain backed app, we can actually identify mineralogical content of electronic waste, hence providing price transparency that is based on mineralogical content rather than weight. We also assist you to provide you sorting infrastructure enabled in the app, just to assist you differentiating between electronic waste from plastic waste or other typical waste. We also provide logistics services, enabling you to connect different logistic providers who can actually transport your electronic waste from your household to recyclers or back to manufacturers. Next slide. So WasteZone is tapping into a growing market opportunity as electronic waste is the fastest growing waste stream in the world. So our market is actually categorized into 3 segments, including repairers, e-scrappers, as well as recycling industries. The total addressable market globally is over 120 billion, with growing a percentage globally of 25%. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so our go-to-market strategy is quite simple. What we do, we run social media ads or other different marketing strategy, and we subscribe the users and we provide them free trials. So after providing free trials, we just collect feedback, maybe for improvement, and then we start to charge them a certain percentage fee, and then continue to retain them through different services we provide. Next slide. So our revenue stream is composed of 10% commission, which is almost equivalent to $1.2 that we charge on each kilogram of electronic waste transacted on our platform. And we also charge a monthly subscription to recyclers or manufacturers between $100 to $500 on monthly basis. And this depends on the volume of electronic waste they want to acquire throughout the platform. Next slide. So far, WasteZone has over 1,800 households that currently use WasteZone, and we have also over 175 e-scrappers and recyclers currently using a mobile app, and we have managed the transaction of over 400 tons of e-waste. Next slide. And right now, our next milestone, we are developing WasteZone 2.0, which is a new version of WasteZone. And it aims to tap into different two new markets that we are expanding to, including reuse and remanufacture value chain. And our next phase actually is raising a seed round of 500,000 just to prepare expansion to neighboring countries. Next slide.
Ghislaine, I have to cut you off here because we are over the time, but I want to thank you for your pitch and elaborating on your business initiative. And not to worry, because I think we have enough time. We have more than enough time, of course, for questions from our jury panel. So let's hop right into that. I'm looking at our jury members to see if there's anyone who wants to kick off this question session for Ghislaine that we can start with. So if anyone wants to raise their hand. Ian, thank you so much for your question. Please go ahead.
Thanks very much, Ghislaine. I'm really interested. Your model kind of turns a bit on this mineralogical laser scan technology, which of course sort of sorts the valuable parts of the waste out. I mean, how good is that technology for a start? How reliable is it? And second, is this your technology, or is this something that you've brought in and integrated together with your app?
Okay, so the technology depends on laser scan technology that's embedded in our mobile app. So we developed it, and so right now is 80% efficient in identifying mineralogical content of electronic waste, because we do believe the electronic waste might actually get value depending on mineralogical content rather than on what different markets all over the world are actually using of valuing electronic waste on its weight rather than mineralogical content. Yeah, so it's 80% right now efficient, and as we innovate our mobile app, we're trying to improve the efficiency just to almost 90%. So now.
Okay, does that answer your question, Ian?
If I may just follow up quickly, and
Yeah.
so is this uniquely your technology, or is this something that you've kind of brought in?
Yeah. So yeah, it's our unique technology, and we are currently right now in the process of obtaining an IP. It's IP.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ghislaine, for answering, and thank you, Ian, for asking the question. I see, Eric, that you also have your hand raised, so I'll give the floor to you.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to know, I did not get what was your revenue, your monthly revenue, or if you already have revenue.
Sorry, I lost you.
Yeah. So my question was, did you already get revenue, and if yes, how much?
Okay, so our current revenue right now monthly, we have an average monthly revenue of $52,000 US. But as I said, we are currently expanding to other two new markets, especially targeting a B2B business model. So different manufacturers over the world are enacting the buyback program where they just want their materials back. So we are right now, the second version of the Wazon app we are developing targets manufacturers, because we do believe this is a growing value chain rather than recycling, because reuse or remanufacturing in a circular economy has like highest potential rather than recycling.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we have just very, very, very quickly time for a last question from Pamela, so go ahead.
Oh, sorry, just quickly. One of the issues that this assumes is that there's actually good mobile connectivity. How does this impact your assessment? And because there's significant problems, as you know, and it's reliant on a particular type of technology.
Okay, so we have established different models, including for households that don't have access to stable internet. So what we did is actually optimizing our mobile app just to really be operational on different mobile devices on different operating systems. But on the other hand, also we have established different agents in different corners of the country to ensure that they are able to tap into our services, especially for those that don't have access to mobile devices, smartphones, access to internet. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gisela. Sorry to cut you off. We are out of time here, but I think it just goes to show, I think, for all candidates that, these are interesting initiatives. So there are so many questions that we would want to ask. I think we could go on with all of you for way longer than the allocated time, but let's not do that so that we can stick to our schedule. So I want to thank again Vedant Gandhi from Recycle X, Fauzo Rizki from Sampangan, Guilaine Irazoke from Waste on Rwanda to tell us more about their initiatives within this category. And also, can I just say to everyone in the chat, I love seeing all the encouragement, the support towards each other, towards the finalists, all the interest that you guys have. So I really also want to take this time in between to thank our audience for being so engaging and for showing all your feelings and encouragement and support to our finalists. Keep on doing that as we will go into what is already the final category of the 3 categories that we have, because of course, time flies when you're hearing about all these interesting things. So that without further ado, I would say that we could hop right into our 3rd pitching round, which will be all about the category of water and others. So we focus on water issues, but also on things that might fall outside of water and might be like uniquely different from that category. But when we focus on water, we know that droughts in Africa, floods in Europe, and water rationing in Asia are clear signs that we are facing a global water crisis, unfortunately. Because today, 2.2 billion people lack access to safely managed drinking water, and more than 4.2 billion people lack safely managed sanitation. When you really go to think about, the scale of these numbers, it's almost, uncanny to see how big the detrimental effects of the current water crisis are, which is why we need to transform the way we manage our water resources and why we need to ensure that clean water is accessible equally for all, so that we can take that 2.2 billion and that 4.2 billion back to a hopeful world where it would be 0. And here to tell us more about their green business initiative and how they go about to work when it comes to water, we have again 3 finalists in this category. Let me introduce them to you to start with. First off, we have Lydia Diaz, who is the founder of Plant Powered from the Dominican Republic. Plant Powered was founded in 2017 with the mission of offering high-quality plant-based products through the supermarket chain. So Lydia, thank you so much for being here with us. Then we have a second speaker, which is Bilal bin Saqib, founder of Tayaba in Pakistan. Tayaba is a social enterprise that works for the betterment of marginalized communities by improving water access and sanitation through their inventions. So thank you also so much for you being here, Bilal. And then lastly, we want to mention that there is a 3rd finalist in this water and other category, which was Aya Larakif, the founder of Queemer from Morocco. But unfortunately, due to private circumstances, Queemer cannot join us today and therefore will not be included in the scoring by the jury. But we do want to take this moment and time to sincerely congratulate Aya and Queemer on making it to the final 3 for the water and other categories with the amazing work that they do. So to give you a bit of an insight as to what kind of company Queemer is a startup that really transforms the waste of fish into exotic leather that has the same characteristics as snake leather and crocodile leather. And all of this is done with the goal to make high-end leather goods like bags and jackets and wallets. And in this way, to really substitute it with a way more sustainable way. The founder, Aya, has developed a passion for sustainable fashion ever since she was young. And she truly believes in the important power that the transformation of the fashion industry could have when we look at its scale and look at its importance, the impact that could have on the environment and on people. So I want to take this moment. I think I speak on behalf of everyone. Aya, thank you so much for all the great work that you do. And we want to support and encourage you in all the endeavors that you're going to do after this. And with that being said, I think we should just hop right into this pitching round to hear from the finalists that we have present here. And the first one being Lydia Diaz, founder of Plant Powered from the Dominican Republic. Lydia, the floor is all yours, so take it away.
Hi, I'm Lydia Diaz. I'm one of the founders of Plant Powered. Plant Powered is a manufacturer and developer of plant-based products. In the next slide, we'll see which ones, which are meat and dairy substitutes, but also frozen ready-to-eat meals that focus on the Latin American and Caribbean gastronomy. If you can pass to the next slide so we can see which ones. We have 2 brands currently on the market. In the next slide, we'll see them. which is Neros. Neros is a brand of meat substitutes and frozen specialty foods, and Cheese is a brand of plant-based cheese substitutes. In the next slide, we'll see some of the products that we manufacture currently. These are some of the meat alternatives. We can just pass the slides to see the gallery of products, and I'll tell you a little bit about them and about our purpose, which is to inspire society to make diet decisions that take into consideration their environmental footprint. And we do so by offering a wide and unique range of products that make the process of adopting a plant-based diet a more easy and exciting experience. We also have a line of dairy-free ice cream based on local coconut milk. All of our products are gluten-free and also easily reheatable in the stove, oven, or microwave, or even the air fryer. And we're the first company, the first food company that we know of that offers packaging available in Braille language to enhance the shopping experience of the vision impaired customers. If we can move to our business model, we sell products through supermarket chains. It's very simple, and specialized stores, and also to the food service industry. The next slide, we'll see some of our current clients. Our company provides solutions to current global food production problems, which include environmental, health, and ethical aspects. In the next slide, we'll see that in the environmental aspect, only last year, we helped our consumers in the local market reduce their environmental footprint by saving over 5 million gallons of water, 59,000 pounds of CO2, and 34 million square meters of usable land. With our expansion plans for next year, we expect to multiply these numbers by 40. And how do we intend to do this? In the next slide, we'll see our market opportunities a little bit back. We have many market opportunities. Our brands have generated the interest of several markets. We already have a distribution contract to supplying the main supermarket chains in Mexico. That's a 140 million people market. And we're currently in conversation with interested distributors for the East Coast of the United States. The plant-based food industry is only growing more and more each year. And one of our main features is that we're a product developer. So we have over 30 plus prototypes. So we have a lot to offer to the plant-based food industry. Next, we'll see that we have a fully equipped and staffed facility right now with a production capacity of 40,000 units per month in one single shift. That's about 2 40-feet containers. Next, a few words about our founding team. Me personally, I have a background in nutrition and biotechnology and marketing, so I focus on the product, the brand, and how to sell it. And my partner has over 20 years of experience managing big operations and teams, so he focuses on the daily operations. What we need for our next steps is $500,000 so we can replicate in the Mexican and North American market what we have done in the local market, which represents a monthly sales jump from $5,000 to $200,000. That's going from a 3 million people obtainable market to 110 million people obtainable market. As a company, in the short period of time, we have received some important recognitions, such as the first place in the National Entrepreneurship Competition, Forbes 30 Business Promise, and the Green Latin America Awards. That's the presentation so far. If you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Lydia. And indeed, I will hop right into what you said. Is there a question perhaps for Lydia on this initiative already from our jury panel? If I can see some hands raised, if you want to ask a question, I'd be super curious to hear more from our jury and also more from Lydia. Rishenda, I see that you have a question.
Thank you. Great presentation, Lydia, but can you tell us more about, since this is the efficient use of water category, specifically, how does your product, how does your approach help with water management? Thank you.
Yes, we calculate the impact based on the savings generated by the substitution of each pound of animal protein and using vegetable proteins. So we know that we can save about 80%, we can use 80% less water by using vegetable protein instead of animal protein. So what we do is we provide solutions to the general consumer so they can adopt a more sustainable diet and save water and save CO2 and save usable land.
Okay, clear. Does that answer your question, Rishenda? Okay, I see some nodding. That's a good sign. Okay, moving on to Ian. I see that you also have your hand raised.
Thanks very much. That was a really interesting presentation. I've asked a number of questions about, sort of whether companies are production companies or technology companies, and I'm tempted to ask you the same question, but I'm going to ask you a different one. I understand that you're going to be exporting your made-up food products to international markets. I mean, to what extent have you grappled with the regulatory requirements that will be that you'll be coming across when you move into Mexico, North America, and Europe?
Yes, we are certified as GMP, that's Good Manufacturing Practices, and we're currently on a program with the UK market. They selected 30 businesses from the Caribbean to be able to export there, and hopefully to Europe in general, and that includes the HACCP certification.
Okay, clear. Does that answer your question, Ian? Okay, amazing. We have time for more questions. So I'm looking at our jury panel. If there's someone else wants to shoot a question. Also, going to take this moment again to remind our audience, submit your questions, comments, remarks, whatever it is, you can keep on doing so. Rishanda, I see that you have a hand raised. Is that of the previous question, or do you want to ask a next question? Oh, I see you. You removed it, so it was from the previous one. But Ian, our trusted question asker, I see that you want to ask another one. Thank you.
I just can't help myself, but I will ask that other question.
We love it, so please go ahead.
Thanks, Hajar. I will ask the other question that I sort of foreshadowed. I mean, are you potentially a technology company as well as a food company? You talked about your prototype recipes. Presumably there's some know-how and IP tied up and all that. Is there a possibility to license this kind of stuff in other markets to be manufactured there?
Can you repeat the question?
So I mentioned the know-how that you put into your recipes, into your prototype products. I wonder about the potential for the business to actually license those products, that technology, that know-how, in order for others to manufacture it in other markets. So rather than exporting food, you would export your know-how, your recipes, your other stuff.
Yes, that is possible. The thing is that we focus on using local materials, raw materials. So it would depend on the market where we're going to reproduce this.
Okay, clear. Does that answer your question, Ian? Okay, yes, I think it does. Great. Okay, thank you so much, Lydia. Thank you so much for sharing this with us and telling us more about your business initiative. We'd love to hear it. And I think we can go right over to our next speaker, which we introduced briefly before, but Bilal bin Saqib, founder of Tayyaba from Pakistan. I think we're all more than curious to hear from you what your business initiative is all about.
Hello from Pakistan. My name is Bilal bin Saqib and I'm the founder of Tayyaba. Next slide, please. Nobody is unaware of the global water crisis, as you earlier mentioned, with 2.2 billion people not having access to safe water resources. And then when I kind of zoom in locally, we see that Pakistan, with a population of 220 million people, is the third most affected country due to water shortages. Next slide, please. To address the unmet need for water access, use and management, the simple yet disruptive solution that we came up with is called the H2O wheel, help to others. The help to other wheels is a 40-liter capacity drag-on serving as an efficient substitute for the conventional clay pots, the jerry cans, in comparison to a mud clay pod that has the capacity of 8 liters and a lifespan of 4 to 6 months. Our H2O wheel has a life of 5 years plus and is reusable with a cost of only $20. Next slide. As depicted in this picture, with reduced head and shoulder burden, this is how the lives have transformed. Next slide. Clean water is now on a roll. Our external impact assessment suggests that by saving time and increasing water accessibility and availability and productivity of our target beneficiaries, we've increased their income prospects by 20 to 100%. We've reached over 7,000 households in Pakistan, and recently also expanding internationally by sending 500 of these wheels to Kenya. Next slide, please. As a major impact indicator, we are surprised even to see how gender roles have been reversed. Men have never historically kind of helped women in water fetching activities because of the ego. They would never carry a pot on top of their heads, but this has been reversed due to the wheel. With efficient use of water and with an almost negligible disposable and replacement cost, it is a high pro-environment value, making it most ecologically favorable water collection and storage mechanism. Next slide, please. These are the SDG goals that we are targeting. Next slide, please. Coming to our model, we have implemented a hybrid innovation business model, generating both the commercial and the social value through a single strategy. We sail these H2O wheels to organizations, humanitarian organizations, as part of their CSR campaigns. However, on the other end of the spectrum, where the buying power is significantly lower, we also provide microfinance options for people to have access to these wheels. Our margin on these wheels are approximately 10 to 15%. Next slide, please. For the next 18 months, this is how we plan on utilizing our income. Scaling revenue is, in scaling in production and improving our service. We also plan on piloting some exciting complementary initiatives in the pipeline with a recycling soap initiative and a H2O bazaar. Next slide, please. This is a very capable team. We are a bunch of incredible young people running the show, along with published authors and social innovators and award winners. We have a Commonwealth COVID-19 hero. I myself did a master's in social innovation and entrepreneurship from the London School of Economics, and we were also featured in Forbes 30 Under 30. Next slide, please. These are some of our major recognitions that we are extremely proud of. The most recent one is being one of the world's first social enterprise to have raised funds using blockchain and NFTs for water scarce issues. We hope to continue this spirit of innovation and look forward to forging meaningful connections with our global community, especially those that are present here today. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
Thank you so much, Bila. Thank you so much. And again, amazing timekeeping, because that was exactly within the limits of the 4 minutes. Thank you. That was interesting to hear. And if I looked at some of the faces of the jury members, and they looked really interested during the session as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing from them, their side, and their questions. So who from the jury members would like to start off with the first question? Rishenda, I see that you're the first one, so please go ahead.
Thank you. I mean, you've made the case clear for the need for this in Pakistan, and I lived in Pakistan, so I'm familiar with the environment. The question is, how is this differentiated from existing solutions like the Hippo roller that has been out there for many years and in widespread use in sub-Saharan Africa? And second is, how are you looking to become sustainable? I'm not hearing that yet clearly, so can you talk about the sustainable business model? Thank you.
Amazing. So Hippo roller has been my inspiration, because I picked that up, whilst traveling in Burkina Faso. So that is where the motivation came from. How we are different is that our costs are we are at 1/5 of the price of a Hippo roller. We produce it locally, and also now we are looking at various angles in terms of creating a more efficient wheel, which will also perhaps kind of help with the purification of the water, depending on what area we are in. And in terms of sustainability, we are providing microfinance opportunities where we will be selling these, or perhaps where these communities will be providing a positive contribution towards the cost of the wheel.
Okay, clear. Does that answer your question, Rishenda?
Thank you.
Okay, yes, it does. Okay, looking to our jury member, I see, Ankit, that you also have your hand raised, so please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the presentation, Bilal. I had this question. In countries like India and Pakistan, if something works, it gets copied very easily. And the arrangement, the system that you had, it feels it can be copied. How do you intend to prevent from people from copying this?
Amazing. So, there are two sides of the question. One, there are two answers. My heart says that yes, we want as many people to kind of copy the idea so it can be replicated and can have a greater social impact. But we understand that we need to fetch guard our products. So we filed for a patent. And we think that our unique or our unfair advantage is in logistics, is in production, in the way, because my background is in social innovation, and the team that we have when it comes to community mobilization, doing the impact, educating the communities, that is where we stand out.
Sure, thank you.
Clear. I see we have another question from Pamela.
Yes, just quickly. Thanks so much for your presentation. I really laud you on this. I think it's a fantastic initiative, but I do want to kind of find out, there seems to be an arm's length link between the issue of water scarcity and actually access. You know, yes, you're making it easier for them to get water, but is it addressing the problem of water scarcity per se? If you understand what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, we are stuck within this question ourselves, but I think when it comes to areas in terms, where we operate, and there's still a lot of areas where women have to travel 3 to 4 kilometers every single day to fetch water. And we strongly believe that if we can't put in the pipelines, this is a temporary solution. When we go and when we speak to these women, they say that this is perhaps the best thing that has ever happened to them. Because imagine, we are traveling on our plane, and instead of dragging on the luggage, we are asked to carry it on top of our head. So the sort of, this is being used in agriculture in some of the areas where people don't have access to water. So, we don't have the money and the infrastructure to perhaps invest, but where we can support, yes, but there's a real issue of carrying water from water sources, whether those are wells, whether those are rivers or RO plants. And yes, that is what our focus and mission is at the moment.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bila. Thank you so much, Pamela, also for asking that question. And of course, also to our other jury members. And I'm going to say with that right away, thank you so much to this last group of finalists for introducing their inspirational ventures. And with this, let me close the pitching part of the competition. Now, me saying that is also a hint towards you, our jury members, because I would like to quickly remind you that this means that your final minutes to finalize your scoring sheets are starting now. So if you still have things to fill out, things to think about it, do it quickly, because we will be very soon going over to the announcement of the winners of the ITC's Youth Ecopreneur Awards. But before we will reveal the winners of the competition, I would actually really like to ask one of our jury members forward. We've already heard him, we have already seen him asking sharp questions, but Ankit Agarwal, who is the founder of Pull, a social enterprise converting temple waste to biodegradable packaging and bio-leather, because not too long ago, Ankit, you stood in the very same position as the contestants did today. Since Ankit, he was pitching for and won the United Nations Young Leader for Sustainable Development Goals award, amongst many other competitions. He's come a long way together with his company since then, and will share with us his story as an ecopreneur. So Ankit, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Hajar. I wouldn't take long. So in my country, India, there are about 1.6 million manual scavengers. So manual scavengers are people who jump neck deep into clogged sewers and scrape human feces from dry toilets, keep it up on their heads to finally walk kilometers to the outskirts of their villages to dispose that human excreta. And it's such a big taboo that people don't even want to talk about it. When I was 16 years old, I came across manual scavenging. And that day I decided I want to change it. Years later, I started this social enterprise called Fool, where we collect floral waste from temples and convert them into the world's first charcoal-free incense and an animal-free alternate to leather by employing women from this community. As of date, we employ around 127 women full-time. This not only provides them with financial livelihoods, but a life of dignity and respect. And so it's been 4 years now. We have raised money, done all of that. And I want to share 3 things with you. One, when I started this, everyone said that I'm mad. Even my own parents, they were like, have you gone nuts or what? Who leaves a job and comes back to clean temples, clean drains? No one had ever seen anything come out of temple waste. There was a lot of disbelief in everything that I was trying to do. But I kept my persistence. This journey of social entrepreneurship is hard. And very few people take that route. It's a very big step to even make a start. That's one. And I want to thank you for that. But there will be times where you'll feel lonely. You will feel like it's not happening. Let's get a cushion job. let's do something else which is not so tough. I would request, stay a little longer and things will change. Second is the power of community. So in the place where I work, there have been, apart from all the challenges to make the business work, but there were a lot of demographic and cultural challenges. People don't appreciate entrepreneurship a lot. Everyone wants a job. There's migration happening. I come from a small city. No one wants to live in the city. So all those things. But at all these times, it is the community that has helped me. And how I built this community was going to business plan competitions. So every B plan competition I would get a chance to, I would go there and try and talk to the other participants, try and talk to the judges, later on remain in touch with them, brainstorm them, not rather than taking them as competition, but taking them as a community which is trying to solve a problem. And trust me when I say this today, some of the best friends that I have are the people whom I met as co-participants in business plan competitions. Third is the power of being frugal. Most of the, as you would see, most of the business plans in this, even in this competition are from developing countries. The biggest power that we have is to be frugal. Think of things where you can save money and put it, rather maybe invest in your business in a certain way that someone maybe from Europe and the US wouldn't even think about. Lastly, I would again say this journey gets lonely at times. Stay at it, and we all are changing lives, and somehow that is how that is what will give us the sense of credibility, the sense of having a peaceful sleep at night. And if I can ever be of any help to one of you, please reach out. And my request is, even in this competition, we have a very solid jury. We have people who have put their heart and soul in arranging this competition together. They are your lifelong cheerleaders. Whenever there's something, they'll always help you. So my request is, if you can utilize this platform to the best, it will only help you. One success, one competition helps you to lead to another. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ankit. And I think it's beautiful how you said that they will be your lifelong cheerleaders. I think that just goes to show how important it is also to stick together here as a community. You know, we're all sort of striving towards the same thing, towards more sustainability, a more green and innovative future. And it's super inspiring to hear your own personal journey and personal motivation in the creation of Fool and in all your work. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Ankit. Now, of course, today we will also pick our 3 winners, 1 per category for the ITC Awards. And I said it before, and even though it's cliche, I'm going to say it again. It is important to mention that everyone leaves here being a winner, you know, having made it to the final 9 finalists already. I want to take this moment to congratulate everyone on that. So you can all have a big round of applause for yourself in this digital space. Thank you for that. And congratulations on that, especially. I'm sure all the finalists know, but just a brief recap also for our audience on what's up for grabs today. So to all the 9 finalists that already made it today, you will already all be provided with access to coaching delivered by seasoned entrepreneurs, tech and digital geeks, legal and financial experts on how to be agile entrepreneurs in the green space and how to grow your business internationally. You will also be provided with support in matching with investors, networking and collaboration opportunities, and the opportunity to get involved in ITC's Green to Compete Networks initiative and to be part of the YE community. So that's already something that all 9 of you will be granted after today. Now, of course, we will also have our 3 winners. And for the 3 winners selected today, there will be the following additional prizes. First off, a cash prize of $5,000 for each winner, a ticket to Slush 2022, the world's leading startup event in Helsinki with lots of opportunities to network in the startup space, international visibility through features in ITCs and our partners' various media channels and events, and speaking slots at our next event, which you will be contacted on then later on. Now, before I go over to the announcement, I just quickly want to go through the practical stuff. each one of the categories that we have, the winner of that category will be announced by one of our partners. And then afterwards, the winner will have around 2 minutes to say sort of their thank you notes and maybe some things that they want to share with us. I want to ask our audience to stay with us all the way until the end. I can understand that you'd be super excited if one of your friends or family or like someone you're cheering on wins. Stay in the chat. We'll go through each one of the categories consequentially, and then at the end we will do a general closing here all together. Now, I think we can all understand that the waiting must be nerve-wracking to our finalists. So to get our beloved contestants out of their misery, I would like to call forward our announcers to let us know who the 2021 winners of the ITC's Youth Ecopreneur Awards are. And first off, we will start with the category of energy. And for that, I would like to invite Eric Young, the CEO of Green Tech, to announce the winner for the energy sector. So Eric, the floor is all yours.
Oh, thank you. So the winner for the energy category is Innovex. All my congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to Innovex. Douglas, amazingly done. Congratulations. And please, the floor is all yours to say some words if you like to.
Well, that was unexpected. It's been tough. I'd love to thank the other finalists. I mean, these guys were really good. So this was really unexpected, and I'm really grateful for recognizing our work at Innovex. I must say my team is proud to hear this news. It's going to be an exciting rest of the week for us. I think we have a weekend coming early. So I really thank you, and I'm happy to have been recognized and selected as the winner. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Douglas. Douglas from Innovex, thank you so much for all the work that you've done. And congratulations once again. Also, thank you so much to the other candidates in the energy category. Once again, making it already to the final 9, to the final 3 for your category is in itself already an accomplishment. But moving on to the waste category, I would like to welcome and invite forward one of our partners, Ludovica Ghisoni of the Fondazione Italiana Accenture, to announce the winner of the waste category.
Hello, everyone, and I'm very pleased to announce the winner of the waste category. A big applause to Recyclix. Congratulations and a green, bright future. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ludovica. And congratulations to Vedant from RecycleX. Please take the floor for some of your words.
Thanks a lot. First of all, the journey was so amazing. I just like the coaching session and the workshops. We did a lot of refining on our pitch deck, and this will give us a lot of visibility for our business and to grow so fast. Thank you, ITC team.
Thank you so much, Vedant, also for all the amazing work that you do. Once again, also a big thank you and a congratulations also to the other finalists in the category. Again, having made it to the final 3 in itself is already amazing. That already brings us to the final category that we have, the category about water and others. So it's a bit of a broader category. And for the announcement of the winner of that category, I would like to welcome and invite forward Ian Sanford. We've seen him before in our jury, partner at Sidley Austin, to announce our final winner.
Thanks. I'm really pleased to announce the winner in the water category is plant powered. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Lydia of Plant Powered. Congratulations with this prize. Lydia, if you want to say some words, go ahead.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for to the organizers. You have a great energy, and we have been able to feel it and develop our project and our pitch from it. And to my amazing coach, Joel, the pitch coach, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lydia. I also see a lot of congratulations to all our winners coming in through the chat. So I want us to say a big thank you to all the support systems of friends, family, people just tuning in, finding this interesting, checking everything out, for congratulating them, to all our finalists, all the candidates, all the winners. Thank you to everyone. And I also want to take this moment to maybe go back to our jury, because of course we've heard a lot of things, interesting initiatives, but maybe I would like to hear from each one of our jury members very briefly some things things that they noticed, that they found really great in all the initiatives that they've seen that they want to share with us. So looking at our jury panel, maybe Pamela, if you would like to go first, perhaps with some words in general about the finalists that we've seen, that would be amazing.
Hi, thank you so much. This has really been a fascinating and extremely, frankly, encouraging process. Out of 650, there were 9 of you, which is in and of itself incredible across the world. And I think that alone speaks for itself. And if we can continue to do this and expand it with our partners, I think it'll be a wonderful thing. So thank you to our partners again for engaging with us. And hopefully next year we can do it bigger and better and hopefully live. You never know.
Indeed, you never know. Let's hope for that at least. And thank you so much for those words, Pamela. Maybe Eric, going on to you as one of our jury members, would you also like to share some words?
Yes, I've been pleasantly surprised by some of the companies. I think that the aspect of the technology is quite interesting, and also I like the format where you have a company from different regions, because there's actually some innovation that can be applied in other regions. And I think that is quite interesting as a format. So congratulations to ITC for such an event.
Cool. Thank you so much for sharing. Maybe Rishenda, if you would like to go next for some words.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be on the jury. I've really enjoyed all the pitches. So all of you are winners. Congratulations to all of you. You're inspiring. You're inspiring to those of us who are no longer count as youth. It's just great to see the level of innovation, commitment, mission-driven, and desire to build sustainable businesses. This is a great event, and look forward to next year.
Amazing, amazing. And let's just say that everyone in this call, regardless of age, is still very young at heart. I think that's at the end of the day what matters, right? But indeed, amazing to hear. Moving on maybe to Ankit, if you want to share some words, you know, have understanding the position that the finalists are in from your own background.
So I would say that all the ideas, I think they have been, there has been certain preparation from your team, because generally everyone spoke about unit economics and their business models, which is rare, because generally when we talk about social enterprises, we just keep on harping about impact and forget about the sustainability of the business itself, which was a pleasant change to see over here.
Yeah, definitely. I fully agree. Having heard all the pitches, I mean, the level of like technical knowledge and insights from you guys was really amazing and baffling at times. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, Ankit. And then going on to Ian, maybe for some final words from like the jury side, that would be super interesting to hear.
Well, just thank you and congratulations to everyone who pitched today. I mean, I was really impressed with the solutions. There were some very clever ideas in play here, and that's encouraging and inspiring. But just at a personal level, these things aren't hard to do. I was impressed with every single one of the pitches. A lot of preparation's gone into this. Congratulations to everybody. Well done.
Thank you so much. That's amazing to hear. And maybe going on, having heard now from our jury panel, I'm also curious to hear maybe from you, Ludovica, having introduced our second winner in this category, you know, seeing this as a partner organizations, what are some things that you noticed that you want to mention about like the process and all the finalists that really struck you whilst listening?
Oh, thank you. Well, first of all, let me congratulate ITC for this great Ecopreneur Award, and of course, all the applicants, the finalists, and the winners for contributing with these amazing initiatives and make a greener and better world. We at Fondazione Italiana Accenture, we stimulate and bring a technological innovation, and we promote socially impactful initiatives among communities and social entrepreneurs. So that's why we're very happy to be part of this journey, because we focus our interventions on the social and the sustainable impact, and therefore all the environmental related initiatives such as this award are extremely important and coherent with our Accenture corporate drivers. So to all work to co-create a greener future. And we support the social entrepreneurs in Italy, but we believe in building communities, and therefore we value all the opportunities to connect to such a larger group of international community of entrepreneurs. So thank you so much for making us part of the journey, and we'll continue with this journey by providing webinars in the next months. So thank you so much, and all to my former ITC colleagues. Thank you.
That's amazing to hear. Thank you so much, Ludovica. Also, thank you to Fondazione Italiana Accenture for being a partner in this. I mean, it touches upon what Ankit mentioned earlier in his own speech, right? I mean, all of us being here together, it's almost indeed as if you have your lifelong cheerleaders together. So thank you for those final words of remarks. I want to say thank you, and especially congratulations once again to Douglas from Innovex, Vedant from RecycleX, and Lydia from Plant Powered for all your great work and all the great work that you're going to be continuing to do and that we will follow along with in your journeys. Now, unfortunately, we have almost neared the end of this session. Time flies when you're having fun, when you're learning new things. But I want to thank you all so much for being a part of this and this session and of this journey. Because the real work does not end here. As we have seen, every person can play a role and contribute to the green transition. And so can you at home by something as simple as spreading the message online on social media. Make sure to keep the conversation going by using our online hashtags, being hashtag Youth for Green Change, and by tagging us via @ITC News on Twitter or International Trade Center on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. What's also very interesting to see is that we have 3 continents represented amongst the winners now, which is amazing to see. So obviously we have not selected it on that way, but it's nice to see that the overall representation of the global community is supported very greatly amongst our 3 winners. Now, don't forget to also visit our website, which is www.yecommunity.com, so that you can follow the journey of these 3 winning initiatives, as well as updates on next year's edition of the awards. I also want to thank all the amazing partner organizations without whom none of this would have been possible. So a big shout out to our co-organizers being Ambitious Africa, Green Tech Capital Partners, Sidley Austin, SME Finance Forum, Sustainable Business Consulting, Aspen Network of Development Entrepreneurs, and Fondazione Italiana Accenture. Also a big thank you to the technical committee members and promo partners. Thank you all so much. We hope to be back with another ITC's Youth Ecopreneur Award next year. So until then, have an incredible evening, have an incredible year, and let's go on and amplify the message of sustainability, innovation, and that of a green future all together. Thank you so much for being here.